plug your business. Looking at that camera right there.
Foxy Box Laser and Wax Bar. Come check us out. We've got 24 locations across Canada. If you were interested in owning your own business and you're like, I don't know where the hell to start, and beauty is of interest to you, check out our website, foxyboxwaxbar.com. You can get franchise information on there. Check out our services. Come see us.
So Kyla, Mitchell Report Unleashed podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Rory.
That's good.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yes, you just flew in, by the way, too.
I just flew in last night, with the time change. The time change always gets us, but that's all right.
It's what, 3 hour difference?
3 hour difference, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we went to bed at midnight last night, which is probably what most Torontonians usually go to bed.
You think so? I was in bed yesterday at 11:30.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, just like right after the football game.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw the football game at the restaurant. Everyone was cheering me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't pick a team for that night?
Well, I think most people were cheering for the Packers, so we kind of went, no.
I don't know if we're going to do that. The Packers. The Packers. So you're here in Toronto, all that good stuff. What brings you to Toronto? And let's talk about the business.
Yeah, sure. A few things. We're holding a regional dinner for all of our franchise partners here in Ontario. This is the last one of our tour, if I want to call it. We've got franchisees in 4 different provinces. And so every year we host an annual event where we get all of our franchisees together, make it an educational event, and really just get them to lean on each other. It's a great way for them to inspire one another, share best practices. And it's a cool place because you can go to franchise conferences or other business conferences where everyone might be in beauty conferences where everyone's in the same sector, but to be in a room where everyone is in the exact same boat doing the exact same business is pretty powerful. So we host that every year, but I decided this year to break it off and hold regional ones so that we could get them together kind of on outside of that big event and have them connect more in their local areas. Again, share challenges, wins, and we always... I bring in questions like, how can I support you best? What's missing for you? As a franchisor, I'm a servant leader, and I want to know what's missing for you and how can I support you best? So doing that more on an intimate level rather than on a big scale at one event, I think is more powerful, and it allows them to be more vulnerable and open up and kind of lean on each other as well. So this is the last one of our tour. Some of them have been pretty heavy, but it's good feedback for me. Like, I need to hear this stuff so that I can be the best leader for them. So that's one reason why we're here. And then the other reason is we're going to the franchise trade show. So that's Saturday and Sunday in Mississauga. And we're looking for more franchise partners that align with our vision, values, and want to bring our brand to their communities.
I love that. Yeah. And the brand and the business is?
Foxy Box Laser and Wax Bar.
Okay.
We're a hair removal concept. We specialize in waxing and laser. We specialize primarily in the art of the Brazilian. And we've got 24 locations across Canada. We're in 4 different provinces. And we're looking for more franchisees to help.
Let's give you a round of applause. Come on now.
Thank you.
That's good. No, I like that. So the origins of the business, of the brand, how did that start?
From my personal waxing experiences, I started Foxy Box 13 years ago now, and I had gone to a lady out of her home spa for my Brazilian waxes. And back 13 years ago, the wax bar concept wasn't a concept. So if I wanted to rebook with her, it wasn't very convenient. Like, I had to phone and leave a voicemail or text, or I had to rebook at the time, or it was hard to get an appointment. The other options were a high-end spa where you're going to spend $100 on a Brazilian with someone who probably didn't want to be in there with you, or the back of a nail salon, which might not have the best hygienic standards. So I realized the gap in the market. I was a bartender at the time. I used my bartending tips. I put myself through school. They showed me one Brazilian in class and sent me on my way. So, in my early days when I was practicing Brazilians, I would give my victims or customers a shot of tequila or whiskey to help them relax and me relax so that I could get good at Brazilians. And Foxy Box started in the dining room of my house, in my shared house in Victoria, BC. Until I got too busy. My roommates were like, Kai, you can't bring strangers to the house anymore. So I found my own space and then grew and evolved from there. But those early days were really fun for me because I didn't have any money, really. My bartending tips funded Foxy Box. So it was a great platform for me to grow my business because every customer that came into the bar woke up with a Foxy Box business card in their pocket. I was like, let me wax you. Here's your shot. Let me wax you. And the starting in the dining room really kind of shaped the foundation and the core of our brand as well, because I had people I was Foxy Box before I had a Foxy Box. I had my Foxy Box business cards with my cell phone number on it.
Okay.
And people would show up at my house being like, thinking they showed up at Fight Club, not at Foxy Box. They're like, where am I, right? And so that experience, it was my job to make these total strangers feel comfortable and confident enough to take their pants off in the dining room of my house with roommates with just a curtain up. And that really helped build the foundation of what we do. How I did that is I make them laugh, make a joke about showing up at Fight Club. So humor is critical as one of our core values. We've infused that in everything. We call ourselves magicians. We say, don't beat around the bush. We've got funny sayings on all the walls, Viva la vulva. So we've made what could be an uncomfortable situation, we've put humor into it to diffuse the situation.
I love that.
And so that my beginning seeds of the business really helped shape the foundation of our culture and our brand for how we've grown to scale.
Love that. I love that. Let's go back now to the bartending, right? Because it's a form of, you could say entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You're starting to kind of understand when it's going to budgeting money, things like that, like you mentioned. What was one of the biggest learning lessons you took from bartending and you brought that model to the business?
Right. That's a great question. And, you know, I used to hop around from job to job, and I was at this one place called Lucky Bar in Victoria for 4 years, and that was the longest stint I'd been. I was a pretty good bartender and quick on my feet, and I think those are relatable skills to opening a business as well. You have to be quick on your feet, pivot. You're going to have customers that are like kind of shitty sometimes, or, you know, so you've got to be able to handle customers very well. And the reason why I stayed the longest at Lucky Bar, where I was for 4 years, is because Dave Shue, the owner, created like a family. Like, it didn't feel like I was going to work. It wasn't like I was just coming in and making money. People tried to poach me from different bars where I knew that I would make better tips or I would have made more money, but I stayed at Lucky Bar because Dave went above and beyond by, you know, bringing us on trips. Like, you know, he took us all bungee jumping or making sure that we all jived as a family. And so it was fun to go into work. I was like, okay, I could go work at this other bar, but it's going to feel too corporate or stuffy, and I'm going to get written up if I do something. You know what I mean? There's like all of these nuances where at Lucky Bar, it was just like easy. It was fun. It was easy. It didn't feel like work. So I really, when I started a business, I incorporated that feeling that I had at Lucky Bar. Okay, how do you make staff stay with you? Or what is the environment that I want to create? And I applied that to Foxy Box. So we call ourselves the Foxy Box family. It's really cool to see employees. We have a high staff retention rate. We've created a safe space and a fun place for people to come to work and make some good money, you know?
I love that. I love that. You spoke about your roommates not wanting you to bring people in the household.
Yeah.
At that moment, right? Because there had to have been a switch, an aha moment, and things like that. How did you feel to make it be like, yo, you know what? I'm taking my money, I'm going to take my tips, and I'm getting out of here to do what I need to do?
Yeah. It was exciting for me. I get to bring my brand to life. Okay, it's not just like the dining room of my house. I get to create the vision of Foxy Box that I had in my head. So my first jump was I found a 10 by 10 room in the back of a jewellery store downtown Victoria, and I rented that. And I got to like put my touches in that room because it was just a white space. It wasn't like I was trying to fit something into this old dining room, right? So I got to bring, you know, my red wall, and which now we don't have red walls anymore, but that's a whole part of our brand.
What color are the walls then?
They're white. We're
Okay.
clinical, so they're
Well, you got to put some red in it, no?
We do
You
have
don't
red
think so?
pops. We do have red pops.
Okay.
We do have red pops, but it's not like we don't lead with that. My first store was like all red walls, and that's overwhelming. And so we really do lean in, because we specialize in Brazilian and hair removal. We lean into like a clinical and clean look, but still fun and exciting. So we have Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. You know that movie poster? All right, You got to look her up after this, or just go into one of our stores. We've got this huge Attack of the 50-Foot Woman on all of our walls. Like I said, fun sayings on all the walls, Viva la vulva, don't beat around the bush, things like that. We've got stainless steel counters, so it's like nice and clean, and white FRP walls and stuff, so everything is wipeable and feels clean. So it's fun and inviting, but clean because it is still like an intimate service. So
I love that. I love that. So what was your biggest learning lesson as far as when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Oh my God.
It's going to be a two-part, but when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Rory, like we could do the whole podcast on my fuck ups.
Let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it. I mean, I've started Foxy Box 13 years ago now. there's two main events that really I call my Harvard educations, if you will. The first one was when I rebranded and tried to open a full service beauty salon. So I had owned Foxy Box for 2 years. Everything was going well. We were booming. Like I was so busy. And then I had some friends come and go, Kai, you should add nails to your salon. We want to leave where we're working at. You should open nails. I went, well, I don't have room in the space that I have now. And before Foxy Box, I always thought I'd open a full service salon, call it Diva Den. That's what I'm never going to do that. So if there's anyone else who wants to do that, Diva Den is a great name. I love alliteration. But I opened up a full service beauty salon. 3 months after I opened, my nail techs all went, we're going to go open our own business. My hairstylist that I had in there, that was my friend, went, I'm going to go open my own business. So now here I was left with a business that I didn't know how to run. I knew I was a waxer. I wrote the curriculum. I knew how to train on it. I knew how to fix problems. But when all of my staff left that did nails and hair, I didn't know that service. So I would hire people, they would put out a poor product and I didn't know how to fix it. So I burned that idea to the ground. I also rebranded it because I went into a more affluent community and I thought Foxy Box would be too bold for the community. So I rebranded, called it Foxy Lady, kept the logo, changed the name. It caused a lot of confusion. People were calling me like, Kai, someone's using your logo in Oak Bay. I'm like, that's me. Come check me out. So it's just like, it was a chaotic mess. And so after about a year, I was fortunate I could get out of that lease, burned that business idea to the ground, went back to the basics, did what we knew best, which is just hair removal. And then my second big learning lesson I would say is my first franchise failed. I separated with them. This was probably 8 years ago. When I started Foxy Box, I told everyone who would listen, I'm going to start Foxy Box. We're going to specialize in Brazilians. I'm going to franchise and I'm going to take over the world. I told everybody that. I didn't know what the hell franchising actually meant. Like, I didn't understand that. I thought I'm going to sell it to waxers and then they're just going to wax and build up their clientele. And that's not what this industry typically is. I think there's 4 or 5 of our franchisees that are waxers, but they're going to be business people that want to own a business, right? So my first, 2 of my first hires came to me and said, Kai, we want to be your first franchisees. And I went, great, let's do it. We did a license agreement, not a franchise agreement, which is very different. And as soon as we signed on the dotted line, I mean, things went south from that minute. There was no expectations. They wanted me to kind of do everything for them. They were totally undercapitalized, which I never understood because I used my tips to fund my business until I could be self-sufficient, and then the business supported the growth from there. But I didn't understand you needed to have like a big lump sum of money to open a business. So they were really undercapitalized when they first started. I didn't have anything systemized. I wrote an operations manual on the fly. So when I walked into their store after they had opened it, it didn't even look like a Foxy Box. Like now, today, we have guides that you give to your general contractor. Your electrician knows exactly where the plugs go. Like literally every trade knows what they need to do to replicate a Foxy Box. So when I went into their store, I was gutted. I was like, this, they've got like beveled tile and like vintage decor and like shit, like it was like, this does not feel like a Foxy Box.
Yep.
So, and then because we signed a license agreement and not a franchise agreement, there was no expectations in place. So what they thought they were getting into was not what I thought I was getting into. And so when they opened, they were calling me to pick up shifts. Kai, we need you to be receptionist. Or my waxer called in. I was like, this is not what I thought franchising meant, I put a pause on everything. I reached out to a franchise business coach. Her dad started M&M meat shops. They grew to like 500 locations.
Wow.
So she grew up in the franchise world and she helped coach me. And I stepped out of my business and worked with her to systemize everything, to figure out how to support these people. We lined up monthly meetings. I had agendas. We really helped to support them the best we could. And I learned how to be a franchisor. And then after a year, we went like, this isn't working. You fucking hate me. We can't get this relationship back. Let's separate. So I offered them 2 things. Either we'll buy back your location or you can keep your location and change your name, but like, we got to separate. They chose the latter, which is great because back then I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to come up with the money to buy your store back if that's what you want from me. And so they still operate today in Langford under a different business name, and we've got a franchise back in that market. But the pivotal mind shift that I had to have from that experience and what my franchise business coach really instilled in me is the minute I sell a franchise, I'm no longer in the business of running a wax bar. I'm in the business of selling franchises and supporting those people and making money. So when you're a franchisor, it's not about you anymore. You have to be obsessed with making other people successful. That's your only job. So I didn't get that. I didn't understand that when I first sold a franchise. I was still in my business, like waxing, and so that had to change. So once we put everything in place, we went back to market, and I mean, here we are. We went back to market 6 years ago to franchise, and we've got 24 locations now.
I love everything you say. You're so dialed in, so polished with everything that you articulate yourself. So I do want to give you your flowers for that.
Thank you.
When we look at the savings with the bartending tips, speak to the entrepreneur, because I feel like there's some of us that are still maybe working in a 9 to 5. Some of us may be wanting to leave our job.
Yeah.
How much money did you accumulate for, and I know not one size is going to fit all for other folks.
Yeah.
But how much money did you have to accumulate before you said, yo, I'm all in?
When the business could pay me and sustain myself, I lived off of my bartending tips, and then the business, I kept all the money from the business in the business. And so I think that a lot of people, think that they can just start a business and like everything's going to be gravy right off the bat. I'm going to be rolling it in right off the bat, and that's just not the case. You got to really, it's not a walk in the park. It is a grind. It's a hustle. You have to be resilient. And, even at a franchisor level, I mean, I've got people on my team that make more than I do, like I'm building this thing. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping that I know that it's going to come back to me, but you got to kind of put your ego aside and go, how do I support this business? You can't go into it with a mindset of, I'm going to go into this and I'm going to be rich like day one. That's just never the case. So I hear a lot of people too, like, go all in on your business. I think it's totally fair and a good thing that you do have a backup, because then you're not so stressed out about the business as well. Bartending allowed me to enjoy building the business because I wasn't stressed and strapped about like, shit, I can't pay myself, because I had my bartending tips that could pay for my life still. So it's a balance. Pardon me. It's a balance of being all in on your business, but also having that buffer so that you're not so stressed is also a good thing. Unless you can get money or come from money. I mean, I couldn't even get a loan back because I was a bartender. I didn't make shit on paper. So like nobody would give me a loan, right? So, I mean, if you can have that buffer and you put that into your business model, like, yeah, I pay myself because I've got the capital to do so, then great, go all in. But if you don't and you're bootstrapping it like I did and just like hustling, it's nice to have that comfort.
Because there's a lot of us that are either entrepreneurs, content creators, it's all the same stuff now, that are working our 9 to 5s, and we have to balance between both.
Yeah.
Because we know what the end goal is going to be, what the destination, the yellow brick road, I like to say, you know what I mean? I feel like now we're in the Wizard of Oz a little bit, and all that.
Yeah.
But it takes that moment where if you're working 6 hours to 8 hours or whatever, even 12-hour jobs, when that switch goes off, it's like, yo, I want to go all in now.
Yeah.
Because you know the things when it comes down to burnout.
Yeah.
You know the things when it comes down to being stressed out. All these other different things and these nuances that when you go into that entrepreneurship, it's kind of like that breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
But it's a different type of stress now that you have to go through. Mm-hmm. It's not like the corporate ladder just kind of beating you in each and every day, or you have people breathing down your neck and watching what you do. But now you're like, yo, I got to lock into this business and build this thing.
Yeah.
Map it out, scale it out.
Yeah.
Like, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another powerful tool as well, while you have to work your 9 to 5 or you have to have your side hustle to pay for things. I live by the mantra, and I tell this to my franchisees as well, delegate to elevate. That's what I tell them all the time. If you can't be that person, if you don't have time to be that person to get out in your community, delegate to your staff that are young and love to go out and hand out business cards or coupons or whatever. I mean, you got to get out in your community. So if that's not going to be you got to delegate. Or, whatever if you don't want to run your social media, delegate that. So, while you're building your business as well, if you've got to be in that 9 to 5, delegate to elevate. Find someone who matches your passion and aligns with you and go like, let's do this together, man. And support them in their role to help you all delegate or elevate, pardon me.
I see a lot of, and maybe you do this, but a lot of entrepreneurs now, even content creators that are highly up there in the success market, what they tend to now do is they get their meals already made for them, right?
Yeah, right.
Or they have someone that's cleaning, like a cleaning service that comes in. Because what they do is they eliminate all of those things to
Yes.
focus solely on the business.
Yes.
So it's like for me with a podcast, not saying that I'm doing this at this present time, but it's like I do the editing, I do the marketing, I do everything that you see is all me.
Yeah.
But what would that now look like if I actually delegate that, like you mentioned?
Yeah.
When you delegate that, it's like you have people that are set up in systems.
Yeah.
And it allows you to do more.
Yeah.
Because eventually when you get to the point of a podcast, all I have to do is show up in studio and everything's edited.
Yeah.
And then it's ready to post.
Yeah.
And I just keep just, knocking out episodes.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about doing any more recordings, you know
Yes.
what I mean? And things like that. So
Yeah. So find your lane, find your strengths. Exactly. And what excites you, right? Because you're not going to do like the best job at something that doesn't excite you. If you're like, oh, man, I have to do that. If you found someone that aligns with you, that loves doing that, pass that off.
for sure.
Yeah.
What does leadership mean for you?
Leadership, what does leadership mean for me? I mean, I'm a mom now. So I think, it's reframed my whole mindset of like, this little person is watching me and he's at a phase where he's like a parrot, right? And so I got to lead him in, I think that I take it in business the same way I would as a mom, which is lead by example. And so, I always am cognizant of how I'm showing up in front of my son and how I behave, and he feeds off of my energy. I mean, toddlers are literally like little mirrors of you. And so that's a powerful tool to have in front of you, because whatever you do, he's going to do. If my energy is off or if I'm down, I see it in him, or he acts up, or he's moody. I heard this saying before when he was a baby, if something's wrong with the baby, fix the mom. I heard that before,
okay.
and I thought that was so powerful, because I recognized that every time he was moody or upset or acting out, I was off. And so I think that was a powerful saying that stuck with me. And leadership in business is the same way. How I show up is how I would like other people to show up as well. So leading by example is a powerful tool. The energy that you put out is what you get back. And so that would be my long-winded answer on leadership.
Because I have a lot of women that watch the podcast,
Yeah.
and a lot of my guests are female as well. When they look at your story, how do you want them to learn from you, as far as when it comes down to female empowerment the right way?
I want them to find their people, find their crew that can support them. As a business owner and as a mom, those are two different things, but they're all intertwined. And so from a business perspective, I found my people that I'm in a group of, like, there's 12 of us female franchisors, and we meet once a month. We've got an in-person event once a year. We're in a text group. So anything that comes up for us, happy or sad, or challenges, are like, have you guys tried this vendor? What are you guys doing for marketing? Or, man, I'm struggling with this franchisee. Have you guys been through this? Finding your network for business ownership is so powerful. None of us are in the same industry, but we're all in franchising. And so I'm friends with a bunch of other people that are in the same sector as me as well. And I really just do believe that we can all lean on each other and support each other for the greater good of the beauty industry. So we are pretty transparent with each other. But it's the same as a mom, because, like, as a mom, there's different challenges. And so leaning on each other, that's like, oh, my kid's doing this, or, how are you guys dealing with this? It's important to have that support as well. So find your support, I think, is something that I'm proud of myself that I've done, so that I can evolve and grow and be supported as a leader. I'm fortunate that I have such a support at home as well. My husband is amazing. He gets to set his own schedule. Nona, his mom, watches Bronny, my son, 2 days a week, where I can, like, focus on meetings. So find your support network, because you can't do it alone, like, period. You just can't do anything alone. So
Would you say that those ladies are also your accountability partners as well?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
And so more of a support and not so much accountability. For accountability, I'm putting together a board of advisors right now, which will be more business focused. The support, the 12 of us franchisors, I would say, is more of a support network, not so much goal setting, looking at our businesses from higher level, I think that would be different. And so for us, that's us putting together a board of advisors, which are high level C-suite performers from other brands and businesses that can all look at my business from a high level. At the beginning of this year, Rory, for the first year of being a mom, I feel like I just like blacked out.
Yeah.
I just like put my head down.
That's normal though.
Put my head down and just like go. And at the beginning of this year, I set my own goals, which is I want to level up as a brand, as a leader, and in our industry. And so a part of that is putting together a board. I want people to look from outside of and give me real feedback and go, how can I improve and how can I level up? Great, we got to 24, almost 25 locations. We're signing another one in 2 weeks. How do I get to 50, and what needs to change or evolve or give me some outside perspective. I mean, things are changing all the time. The economy's changing. So getting some outside perspective is going to be super impactful. And that will be my accountability piece because I'm going to meet with them monthly and they're going to, did you do this shit? Because like I'm showing up for you, you show up for me, right?
When you speak of the economy changing, because I feel like we're all getting hit by it, right? You hear of the, not to make it too political, the unemployment rate and things like that. Mr. Ford comes out and says, for all y'all that are unemployed, try harder. You hear of all these things, all these nuances. How are you making your shift when it comes down to the economy right now?
We're definitely seeing slower growth for our new stores. We have a lot of stores that are, have been open for more than 2 years and they really dominate their market. And we've got a membership model as well, so we've got recurring revenue. So a lot of them are feeling good and they are seeing growth. We've got 2 stores that just opened second locations because they've been open for 4 or 5 years, right? Our new stores are not seeing the growth that we are used to. And so how we're brainstorming, pivoting is lowering our footprint. Like, okay, do we need to have 6 treatment rooms? Maybe we're opening smaller footprints. 3 treatment rooms is still an awesome business. But we're not taking our foot off the gas as far as marketing, getting out in our communities, because you can't just shut down or shy away when the economy changes. I know we don't like to talk about COVID so much anymore, but I will go back to that because we grew from 3 stores to 15 in 2 years during COVID. And a big part of that is a lot of people kind of shut down or kind of, and when the economy changes, you have to pivot with it. I made a point when the government said, you guys got to close your businesses. I kept on my team at HQ and went, I know we can't go into work, but we're going to be on social media every day. Every day we're going to put our faces out there so that when we can reopen, we're the first thing on people's minds. So, we did contests. Every day we did a contest that was like, what TV show are you binging on right now? What movie, so that we could get engagement and people talking on our social media. We did a sale so that people we only had 3 stores at the time, but we did, I think, 30% off all waxing and laser packages. And if you bought a package, we would donate a $50 gift card to a nurse. So that was like our Healthcare Heroes Give Back campaign. So we really we launched an online store so we could deliver Foxy Box products to people at home. So, when the economy changes, you have to pivot and you have to go, okay, am I going to sit back and go on vacation for a minute? Or am I going to put my face out there so that people are thinking of me? And it's kind of the same right now. These are practices that we've built into our business from the get-go, which is community initiatives. We say to all of our franchisees, I know the economy's changed. You got to get out there more than ever. You can't just rely on your digital ads. You got to get your face in your community. School is back now. I want all of you to show up at universities with Foxy Box pens and coupons and let the students know that you're there. Offer student discounts. We do a fundraiser event every year on International Women's Day. This was inspired by Lilith Fair. I thought, I want to hold a music festival one day with Sarah McLachlan and and raise money for.
That's your favorite. Is that your favorite musician?
What's that?
Favorite musician?
Sarah McLachlan is not my favorite.
No,
musician.
I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. You gotta just put it out there sometime.
I did. That was my first concert that I ever went to, though. My father took me. She came to Kamloops. So that's where I grew up, and he took me to a Sarah McLachlan concert when I was little. Yeah, which is cute, but she's not.
You never know. She might listen to this.
She might. Yes, Sarah. If you're out there, listen. Check out Foxy Box.
This podcasting world is crazy. You'd be surprised who's actually watching.
Google's gonna give out, an announcement. Sarah McLachlan, you've been
trigger the algorithm. Yeah. Trigger the algorithm. No, because you speak about that marketing bit, and I think a lot of folks don't want to market. A lot of men, A lot of women don't want to market their business. They don't want to market. Oh, how do I do it? I get conversations all the time from guys in my inner group. How do I market? You got to put yourself out there.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It's like the Gary Vee approach. It doesn't matter if you're getting one like, one share, one comment. You have to do it. It's reps.
Yeah.
I like to use it as a jump shot effect. Like if you're going to put up 100 free throws, every single day, your percentage is going to get better.
Yes.
Better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so many folks don't want to, I don't know if it's like the fear of the camera, but it's going to look bad. Like we've all been on camera.
Yes.
We've all done stuff. It's like at first it's pixelated because we maybe had an iPhone 7. Now we have newer iPhones or we get a digital camera or we get a webcam. So it's like that whole marketing piece is so important.
I think that's a piece that a lot of business owners miss. They can have you can have a business plan. You're going to go, okay, I'm going to come in. But, you know, if you don't have that like drive to get out in your community and create a splash and make noise, that business plan is throw that, burn it. That's not going to do anything. I tell my franchisees all the time that if they're, you know, you can't just sit in your business and put digital ads out and expect people to come in. You've got to pair that with grassroots marketing. People want to see who they're supporting. So, you know, put your digital ads out, put your Facebook in but go out in your community, hand out coupons, show your face, attend every event that there is, make yourself known, you know. People want to support people.
Give us the business approach for grassroots marketing.
All right, I'm gonna give
in your business. Line right now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Top 2 tips. Let's go.
So my top 2 tips. Universities, get in all your universities. Students, I mean, if they love your brand, they're gonna come back and they're gonna tell all of their friends. Hospitals are a great one to get into. Nurses, if you can get into the medical field. So, you know, aligning with all of the nurses to get them in yours. But I will say for marketing, and this does pair with grassroots, is make your impact your marketing. Make your community impact your marketing because people will talk about that. I didn't know that I was doing that when I first started Foxy Box. I've always inherently been like, someone's got a problem, let's help them with that. I didn't know that was a great marketing piece, is to help drive traffic in as well. Like I had one of my customers was like, oh my God, I've got this $2,000 vet bill for my dog and I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. And I was like, well, I'll do a waxing day where I donate our proceeds to you, like, you know, and so I did a fundraiser. We've now incorporated that, like I was saying, this Foxy Fest event. In each of our communities, we hold an event, whether that is preferably they're live in person, but if a store is just opened, they might be too stressed or strapped up. It's a lot of work to put on an in-person event, but they'll rent a space. All of these dancers, musicians, spoken word poets, they'll all donate and volunteer their time to come out, host an event, and all of the ticket proceeds from that go to a local charity. You're supporting your community, and also you're making an impact. People are going to talk about you. They're going to talk about your brand. So make your marketing, your impact, your marketing, really. I did a lot of fun grassroots things. When I didn't have money, like I love to talk about that because I did a lot of crazy shit when I did. I didn't have a marketing budget. I was like $1,000 on Google. Like I don't have that. One of my staff was a burlesque dancer, and she actually worked at a spa. And the spa owner from the other place went, I don't want you to talk about burlesque when you're here. It doesn't align with our business. And so really, like, she felt not valued at the space that she was at. I hired her on as one of my first waxers at Foxy Box, and I leaned into that. I mean, you're a dancer? Let's use your talents. I sent her out because I worked in the bars. Flash mobs was like you remember those like pop-up flash mobs?
Yeah.
That was like the trend at the time.
Yeah.
I got her to choreograph with like a bunch of her burlesque friends, this dance to Foxy Cleopatra. And she went out to the bars and the DJ played this song and she cleared the dance floor and they do this dance and then hand out Foxy Box hats and coupons and swag. And
do we have this on video somewhere?
I don't know if we do. I can actually message her and see if
you got to figure it. That's marketing right there.
Yeah.
See, people, I'm going to look in the camera real quick. If you're listening to this, you're not getting the picture in the studio, but if you're watching this, you're seeing the picture in the studio. Like, get your pen and paper. That's value right there.
Yes.
Because think about that. You could re-engineer that whole entire concept.
For sure.
That could maybe start to become a trend.
Yes. And bring it back. Bring back the flash mobs too. And so leaning into your staff's strengths though too, like, you know, they're going to feel value if they're like, oh my gosh, my boss sees this and she loves that about me. I mean, it's exciting for them too. So yeah, I did lots of crazy shit. I sent her, actually that same girl, I sent her to be on The Bachelor Canada.
Oh, okay.
Again, I was like, I didn't have a lot of budget for marketing. Bachelor Canada was looking for bachelorettes. April Ace is her name.
Okay.
Vivacious, beautiful Italian girl. And I knew they would pick her for the show. She's like the perfect candidate. Is she single? And she was looking for, listen, she was looking for love too. It wasn't like,
Aren't we all?
you know.
Aren't we all looking for love? My guy over here laughing.
And so I paid for her flight to go. They were auditioning in Calgary. I paid for her flight. They chose her to be on the show. Her opening line on the show was, "My name is April Ace and I'm a magician." And it said magician at Foxy Box. After the show aired, everyone wanted to book her. Every news article, there was like free PR. I didn't have to pay a PR team. Every news article was like local Victoria girl on Bachelor Canada. And so I knew that if she was on the show, people would want to come and get a wax with her. So I was like already busy, so busy. I was trying to build up her schedule.
Smart.
So
because at that time, that would have been, who is the broadcasting that was doing that?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's instant. You got to think how many thousands of people are watching that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they see that and they're like, yo, I'm booking.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and book in with, so everyone booked in with April Ace after that. She didn't end up with The Bachelor, but she did find love on the show. Actually, one of the people that worked on the show, they dated for a bit after. They're not together anymore, but she did find some love, which was good.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love that. So when you look at everything in your life, being a mother, right? Wife,
Yes.
everything, how do you separate both of them?
I don't, Rory.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Uh-oh.
And,
Uh-oh.
No. Listen. It's a good thing, and my husband is a very patient, wonderful man, and so is my toddler. I hear this and I get this question all the time, like, how do you find balance? How do you find balance? And I want to throw that word out the window, because what I've done is I found my flow. There is no separation. I am Foxy Box. That is my brand. My business is me, and there is no separation. What I've done is I found my flow, I found my support systems, and I figured out how to do it now with a baby on my hip. I lean out to my support. My Kevin here, that's my friend here right now, he was, nannying at my house while I was working when my son was first born. I was on a speaker on a panel in Las Vegas when my son was 10 months old. I brought him with me. I brought my baby to Vegas with me. You just figure it out and find your flow. To separate the two is very challenging, which is why it's very important that you find your support in both areas, in family and in business.
You know why I asked that question is because there's so many folks that we see. I'm not going to call anybody up per se. That because if they have a relationship or they have kids or they have something else, they can't balance, or shouldn't say, they can't balance between both of them.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you say that because life doesn't stop.
Yes.
There's 24 hours in a day, and you have to maximize every piece of it.
Yes.
Because I feel like the way I've been getting the gathering from you to speaking today, you're about maybe 10, 12 hours in a day, like with your business, dialed in?
That I work?
Yeah, that you're like dialed in, but you're always like business oriented, about 10 to 12 hours for the day?
Rory, I work 2 days a week, like 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, my brain is, but let me break down my schedule. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have Anona, my mother-in-law, who comes and watches my son from 9 until 3. And that's when I focused in that's when I schedule meetings. Outside of that, I've got my laptop on my my counter in my kitchen, and I'm checking emails and I'm on phone while I've got Bronny's napping or we're at the park. Like we're just doing it together. So it's tough to put like a time on it because I'm just working all the time. When I lay down at night, my brain is, okay, how can we improve what we did? Like I work all the time, but I've found my schedule that works best for our life.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So what's next? What's next for the business? I know you say another location. It's be location number 25?
That'll be location number 25.
So what's 26, 27 looking like? Or are you just kind of like...
Hopefully we find them at the trade show tomorrow. Okay. But, I really do see Foxy Box as a global brand. We've got trademarks in UK, Australia, and the US. We've had ads running for about 3 months in the US, trying to find our first franchise partner to bring us over there. But it is a pretty saturated market already. So, we've got a lot of room to grow in Canada still. So we're going to keep on trucking here. And some international expansion, maybe UK.
Yeah.
We've
How
been
far
talking to some
international?
people. What's that?
How far international?
Like UK, Mexico, Australia, and US is where I envision.
Nothing more like out like Dubai area, maybe.
That is actually, you know what? You're not wrong on that, Mark, and maybe I should be focusing on that. I call myself a master manifester, so I just gotta like put that on my vision board, and maybe someone from there will come knocking.
Because I feel like that your area is highly competitive, right?
There's
folks that are going to be going to different places, and we're not putting a knock on those places, but it's like, what's going to be the place that's going to treat you the best?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and what you're going to be getting all in for,
Yeah.
What's the clientele going to be looking like? What's your staff going to be looking like, and things like that. So, how do you and your team bring that high level hospitality?
Yeah.
When it comes down to the customer service.
Yeah. I mean, Rory, we know that you can get a wax in every corner now. It's not like the landscape isn't like it was when I started this 13 years ago. So what sets us apart is threefold. Number one is our culture. We were the first wax bar in Canada to become gender neutral. What that means is that we took all gender out of all of our verbiage. When I started, I used to have men's services and women's services. And I would have customers calling in going, well, I don't know what to book because I identify as a woman, but I have a penis. Or, so we were the first wax bar to take all genders out of all of our verbiage to become a safe space for everyone. And it blows my mind to see businesses still have male and female services. Like haircuts, why isn't it the same? It could be short hair or long hair. Like you don't need to separate it by gender. And so for us, like we used to charge more for men's services and we're like, a man doesn't mean the area is bigger necessarily for like a leg wax, you know what I mean? So we took all genders out. We have one service. You can book a full leg, half leg, and then we separated the Brazilian by anatomy. So we have a 20-minute Brazilian for people with a vulva, 40-minute Brazilian for people with a penis. That's how we've separated it. And so the culture that we've created is a safe space for everyone. And again, it's just like it's a fun place to work. We've really created a family vibe. And then our community impact is what sets us apart amongst the noise and the competition. We really do ensure that our franchise partners align with us, that we're like, we want to leave communities better than we found them. You're going to hold fundraisers, we're going to raise money for charities, and we're going to create an impact in the spaces that we're in. And the last thing that sets us apart is sustainability. We are Green Circle certified, which means that 100% of our waste is kept at a landfill using this initiative. All of our waste is taken and put through a process which turns it into clean energy. The remnants from that process get put into things like paving asphalt, roads, creating bike tires, things like that. And so 100% of our waste is kept at a landfill. Last year, Foxy Box alone kept 70,000 pounds of waste out of landfill using this initiative. And we are the only hair removal franchise in North America that is Green Circle certified. So here I am on your podcast calling out everyone, do your part, take care of this planet, and become Green Circle
Yo,
certified.
Doug Ford, what up? I'm looking at the camera at you. Listen to her, man. Listen to her, because
take care.
You know what I've realized? There's corporations that will take the entrepreneur model to reformat it for themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that every business that's ever started was done by an entrepreneur. It became from an entrepreneur thought. When I say that to you, how does that sound to you? And do you believe
agree
that's
with you 100%.
Yeah.
Listen, it did start. Everything started from an entrepreneur, and I mean, for me, Foxy Box started because I saw the lady waxing, and I became obsessed with the art of waxing. Like I used to love like watching her wax me, and but she was an entrepreneur. She had her own business, right? So people can see ideas and go, yeah, I want to take that and I want to make it my own. Or so yeah, everything starts from somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So are we seeing anything like opening more in Canada? Like closer through and whatnot?
Our next franchise that we're signing on is in Lethbridge, Alberta. So watch out, we're going to come for you. And we're hoping for more traction around the GTA. We've got a ton of room to grow in Ontario. I mean, the population in Ontario is
absolutely
massive. So
in the GTA, how many stores right
we only
now?
have one. We're on Queen West in the Trinity Bellwoods area, and then we've got one in Oakville, one in Hamilton, and one in Cambridge.
Okay.
So we've got a ton of room to grow. We do have Toronto is a little bit more saturated with competition, so we've got to be strategic where we find spaces if people are interested in the GTA area, that we're not going too close to competitors, because there are two other brands in the same game as we are that have been here. They started here. I started the brand on the West Coast, so we really dominate the. You're right. Yeah, we're way cooler, Rory.
So what?
You're right.
So what? You got basketball as basketball.
Yeah.
It might be different in the Euro League versus the NBA.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, but the NBA players are playing in the Euro League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And things like that. No, because you know what? There's food on the table for everyone.
Yeah.
I came from the health and fitness.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Just outside of here. And, you know, you see how many gyms in a small pocket of a city.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was all about competition. Nobody wanted to collaborate.
Yeah.
Because collaboration means there's going to be other people from my gym that's going to infiltrate your gym, vice versa. And then they make friends with this person, and then clientele goes to that gym.
Yeah.
And then they become happening. And it shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
There should be some sort of collaboration that can definitely happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, maybe you may have different practices of how you do your stuff, but then it's like, what would happen when you have a whole entire community now that can even build? You get even more stronger minds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like
for
that,
sure.
like that. Have you ever had that thought process?
I have actually. Yeah. I mean, I would consider myself friends with the other brand founders of the other location or the other brands. And we lean on each other. Man, I've got one of the founders that calls me for advice on like, hey, we're switching to Zenoti. Give me your, like, we're thinking about it. Give us your woes on this technology? Or I'll ask them, they're private equity backed. What's your experience with private equity? You know, if we're thinking about partnering with someone in the future. So we all lean on each other for best practices because, yeah, we shouldn't be, listen, I said this to, I'll give her a shout out. Lexi owns the Wax On, which is the most similar brand to us that started here. We're the same size. She's super cool. And I saw her at a conference, and we were just driving and chatting with each other. And I said, listen, all three of us, there's three of us players in the game, Wax On, Fuzz, and Foxy Box. And I went, our brands are so different. We're the same base, but our brands and our culture are so different that a franchisee would be lucky to be partners with any one of our brands. It's a matter of what color do you want on the wall and what culture vibes with you, and that's who you're going to pick. I compared us to all different famous people. I said, Lexi, Wax On is like Beyonce. Foxy Box is like Rihanna, and Fuzz is like Celine Dion. That's
good. That'd be a crazy collab right there, yo.
You should get them all three together.
That'd be an interesting collab. The time this is going to be coming out, there'll be about three more months left of the year. Speak to the business owners, the 9-to-5 workers, the content creators. How can they become 1% better in anything they're wanting to do in life?
Listen, find people that where you want to be and who you want to be. Find those people, reach out to them, make them become your best friend, and hang out with them. I'm telling you, any conference I go to, that's all I'm doing. I'm sourcing up people that have 150 locations, that I admire as a business owner and that I want to emulate, and I make them give me their cell phone number. You'd be so surprised at who would say yes to you or reach out or have a conversation with you. People generally want to help other people succeed. And
You'd think.
You'd think.
You'd think.
It sounds like you have some sad stories.
Listen, that's a whole another podcast.
I'm
gonna come to you for that one, though.
Yeah, right.
We'll do that one. I'll play an away game for that one. I'll let you interview me.
I've been very fortunate that, you know, I've shot for the moon with people that I want to reach out to, and they've said yes to me. And hopped on a call with me and mentored me. And, you know, I brought problems to, and they've given me solutions. And so I think I have 2 teenage stepsons as well, and I tell them this all the time. You become who you hang out with most. So be very aware of your closest inner circle. And, you can hang out with some people that maybe are like unsavory, but be the better person there. Like you inspire them and don't let them pull you back. Fail forward. I mean, if you fuck up, get back up, go, what did I learn from that? And move forward. But look at people that you want to be like and let them inspire you. That's how you can be better, is just, see the positive and shoot towards that.
Wise man once said, I love what you say about your circle, right? Mm-hmm. It's like pay attention to your circle.
Yes.
Because it's the same circle that unfortunately can end up hurting you at the end of the day.
That's exactly right.
You know what I mean? And you got to use your right discernment, especially in more than ever in 2025. Yeah. You know what I mean? Going into 2026 and beyond, because if we just walk around and we're just like, oh, la-di-da-di-da, do, you don't even know what you're walking into sometimes, and I think just for myself with the podcast, that's something that I do. I have to, because it's like the caliber of folks that come on this show, like yourself. It doesn't matter about what the follower count is or what they've done in the world. It's when you start building the reps, you can't be around people that potentially could be a detrimental
for sure
to your business or to your team or whatever you're trying to build.
Or to your energy, Rory.
Thank you very much. See how I threw that lob off the backboard? You just dunked it, right? She's doing a shot, but I said dunked it. I said dunk it.
Remember, Rory, you asked me what sport I follow. I said, I don't watch sports. I chase a toddler.
I love it. Kyla, this has been fun. I'm great. I'm happy, and I'm great to meet you. All that good stuff. But this is your opportunity. Plug your business. Looking at that camera right there.
Foxy Box Laser and Wax Bar. Come check us out. We've got 24 locations across Canada. If you were interested in owning your own business and you're like, I don't know where the hell to start, and beauty is of interest to you, check out our website, foxyboxwaxbar.com. You can get franchise information on there. Check out our services. Come see us.
What's the Instagram?
Foxy Box Laser Wax Bar.
That's it? That's all they plugging in Instagram?
Yeah, that's it. You can follow me, Kyla_Foxy Box too. Check me out too. I'm kind of cool on there sometimes.
Kind of cool is wild work. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me,
Thank
Lori.
you. Thank you
so much.